Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to another live stream for your Monday night, June 27, 2022. And tonight, we're going to be doing a little rugby league Q&A. I think this is the 11th time I've done a Q&A on the channel. And I am joined in the middle by CJ Moxley. And I'm joined on the end, who just came in from out of nowhere. It's Warriors NRL Fanatics. Boys, how are you?
Yeah, I'm getting there, bro. I'm good.
It's good to have you here. Excuse me, let me just try and fix up this damn thing. I'm just trying to put this the best way I can. I might. What do you reckon, boys? Just like this or what? Which way you want to do it?
Yeah, I don't mind, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm at the top. This is me with the hands up. Nick from Australia. Down the bottom is Warriors NRL Fanatics, and in the hoodie it is CJ Moxley. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. If you're new to the channel, and you don't know who we support. I'm a North Queensland Cowboys supporter. Down the bottom, Warriors NRL Fanatics is a New Zealand Warriors supporter, and up there in the top in the hoodie is CJ Moxley, and he is a Rabbitohs supporter. So we all go for all three different teams, and they're all located all over the place. Townsville, which is in Queensland, fucking Sydney, and in New Zealand. If you guys want to ask some questions, feel free to ask them. We're going to answer as many questions as we can. We're going to be on here for the next 25 to 30 minutes, so ask us some questions, some rugby league questions, whatever, and we will answer them. But CJ, mate, how are you, bro? How are you?
I'm good, bro. Besides the fact that I got an infected finger now, bro. So.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Oh, what can I do?
And Warriors and NRL Fanatics, mate, how are you?
I'm doing all right. You know, getting a little bit better. I've had the flu lately, so yeah, just trying to get over that. But yeah, I'm doing all right.
My cousin just bought in his boomerang, and I'm just going to show you guys. How cool is this? The boomerang.
Hey, that's actually nice.
Cool.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Got a good texture and design to it.
Nothing better than boomerangs, boys. Seriously, back when I was in primary school and shit, it was one of the best things to do at lunchtime. You just gotta get a boomerang and throw it down the footy oval. Nothing better. All right, let's get into the questions. I can see a few people have already asking a couple of questions here, which is good to see. Ask whatever, boys. I want to say, I don't want boring questions. I want legitimate, tough questions, and we're gonna answer them as honest as possible. And we're gonna start off. Just having a look at some of the questions here. All right. We're going to start off with a couple of questions here. I can see we got a troll in the chat. Go and get fucked. I'm not really interested in trolls tonight. All right. Question here. We're going to start with the origin theme. Bosky, very loyal supporter of the channel. Bosky. He says, Oates in origin 3, Nick. Fanatic? You're a Queensland supporter. Would you do it? Corey Oates in Origin 3, yes or no?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely for sure. I mean, I would have him over Murray Talangi because I think Murray Talangi had an absolute shocker last night, actually. So, yeah, definitely for sure. Corey Oates, he's played in Origin before, and I think he'd be a suitable player to have in the side.
Yeah, CJ, Corey Oates for Queensland for Origin 3, or would you go in a different direction?
Yeah, I think they missed their that defense on that side, which Corey Oates could have filled in. I would have Corey Oates in there for the experience and defense.
There's a couple of guys that are also in contention. Like you look at the Hammer, if he's fit, he would be a massive chance. And I look at someone like Edric Lee, who's been playing pretty good in a really, really poor Newcastle side at the moment. So there's another guy. And Edric Lee's played Origin before, but going into a decider, Suncorp Stadium, Corey Oates it just seems like the best option. Been there and done it. So I think Corey Oates probably is the right guy to go for Bosky for Origin number 3. All right, what do we got here? Here we go. Peripi. Good old Peripi. I love this guy. This guy's a legend in my eyes. Peripi's got a question. Who in your opinion will get the wooden spoon this year? CJ, there's about 4 or 5 teams that could win the wooden spoon this year, but who are you leaning towards for the wooden spoon?
Oh no, the big one. There's 2 teams I have in mind: West Tigers and Gold Coast Titans.
Yes.
I think the safer option would be the Titans. So currently, I'd say the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast for you. What about you, Fanatics?
I probably say I'll go with the West Tigers. Unfortunately, yeah, I just don't see any improvement in the next couple of weeks.
At the start of the year, I did tip the Warriors for the wooden spoon. They are one of the 4 or 5 teams that are fighting to avoid the wooden spoon. But I think with the Warriors being back in New Zealand this weekend, they should be able to win a couple of games to avoid the wooden spoon. But I'm going to go with the Gold Coast as well. They don't seem to be getting any better. And I got a bold prediction to make, boys. The Gold Coast Titans will only win 1 more game this year.
Ooh. Who do you reckon?
Maybe the Knights, maybe... Well, they're playing Newcastle twice, so maybe the Knights. I don't know. But they're in all sorts, boys. They are in all sorts. All right. Let's get another question here. Jason Reader, in your opinion, do you think the Roosters can make the top 8? Well, I think they're just outside the 8 at the moment. They've had a few dramas this year with injuries and combinations and things just aren't working. That we all thought the Roosters would have been a top 4 side, but they're clearly a fair way off that at the moment. Far out. It's going to be close, isn't it? Boys and our Fanatics. Roosters, will they play finals or not?
Yeah, I think they should do. They should make the top 8. At the start of the season, I had them minor premiers, but boy, I've got that one completely wrong. Yeah, so yeah, look, I think they should do. They should make it.
Well, CJ, I know you hate the Roosters' guts, but will they make the 8?
You know what, Nick? I'm going to go on a limb and say this. The final game between Souths and Roosters, we're going to knock their finals chances off. They won't play finals footy.
Oh, wow. No, I'm disagreeing with you, bro. James Tedesco, Joseph Manu, Sam Walker, Satilia Tupanua, Victor Radley, Angus Crichton. There's too many good players for them not to make the finals. So I reckon they will get in. Some way, one way or another, they'll get in there. I don't know, man. I can't imagine all these great players in that side not playing finals. They'll get in. I reckon they'll sneak in there somewhere. All right. Let's have a look at some other questions here. We got a few rolling in, which is good to see. We'll also go with the theme with the top 8. Can Manly still make the 8? I'm going to say yes, they can. CJ?
Yeah, they can. I think the home run is very important, though. But yeah, I think they can still make it.
I think they can. I think they still can as well. What about you, Fanatics?
Yeah, I think they can still make it for sure, I reckon. Yep.
Tell you what, boys, I reckon a good chance this weekend. Obviously, I'll be doing my tips tomorrow, but I think Melbourne will be without Munster and Grant, but they get Pappenhausen back. So they do lose a bit, but they do gain a bit. That game on Thursday night against Manly Melbourne, it's going to be a cracker. So looking forward to that. But yes, I reckon they can still make the 8 as well. Paddy G is in the chat. Hello, Paddy G. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Right. Paddy J says this. He asked a question. As the only YouTuber to tip Penrith back to back, can we appoint me the true king of rugby league? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think so, Paddy.
Well, they haven't won it yet, so
It is their comp to lose though, isn't it? Like they are the benchmark.
it was Melbourne's to lose as well last year.
Yeah, and look what happened. I mean, all it takes, boys, is for one big name player out of that Penrith spine to catch COVID or to have a small injury where they can't play and they're fucked. That's all it takes. One injury, one situation. But Fanatics, what do you reckon?
At the moment, I think Penrith are deserving favourites to win the premiership this year. But anything can happen in finals. And we've seen with Melbourne last year, people thought Melbourne were going to win it, and that didn't turn out to be the case. They got knocked out in the preliminary finals. So, anything can happen in finals, and it takes an injury or two to a key player, and it can change very quickly.
Is there any team in the top 6 who could miss the finals?
Oh.
That's a good question. Now, I'm going to get the NRL ladder right in front of me here just so I can have a look at things. Now, just so you guys know, 13 wins out of a 25-round season, or really 24 games because every team gets a bye. 13 wins gets you in the finals. So 13 wins will get you to the top 8. Now, Penrith already got finals. They won 14. Melbourne have got 11. Cowboys 11 wins. So you would assume the top 3 is probably going to play finals. Cronulla and Brisbane and Parramatta 4, 5, and 6, all on 9 wins. So they're probably 4 games away from finishing off a final spot. I don't believe Parramatta are set yet. They have proven to still be pretty inconsistent, but they should get there. I think the top 6 is set, boys. But CJ, what do you reckon?
Well, you mentioned that, but I think that South Sydney versus Parramatta game will be very important on Saturday with the top 6. It's the chance for Eels to go, 6 points ahead? I think the top 6 would be set. I'd imagine it too. I can't see them missing finals, but I do think maybe the Eels could slip out to 6.
If Parramatta win on Saturday against South, that they will play finals, I think.
Yeah.
I think they'll be there. If they win Saturday, their finals chances will probably be cemented unless they really fuck it up. What about you, Fanatics? It's the top 6 set. Obviously, different order can happen, but what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think the top 6 is pretty much set. I think Parramatta will. Sometimes it's just hard to get a read on them. This year they're either a top 4 side contenders for premiership, or they're just a team that's just going to be there in the finals. So, yeah, I think maybe there's a chance if they lose a few games that they could drop out. But I think the top 6 will probably stay the same for me.
Yeah, it probably will. It'll probably be a different order though. Teams will have their moments, but the top 6 is looking like it's set. Different order will probably happen though. All right. There's a question here that I saw before from our good friend Faraz that I wanted to put up on the screen here. Here it is. Can Adam Reynolds win a title at the Broncos in his 3-year stay? That's a really good question. Now, the Broncos this year are doing better than we thought. They are 9 wins and 5 losses, currently in 5th spot, going into round 16 of the NRL. Everyone thought Broncos would be around the 8. So I think some had them about 5th or 6th, but not many people did. I think our good friend, All That Champa, had Brisbane to finish about 6th this year. So I think Lorenzo had him around 6th or 7th as well, from what I remember. So they are doing pretty well. I think they're doing better than what most people had. Boys, what do you reckon? Can Reynolds win a premiership with the Broncos in his next 3 years?
It haunt me to see it, but look, I think he can. I think the Broncos premiership window is open right now, and I think they can win a premiership by 2026. And there's no reason why Adam Reynolds can't steer him to a comp. So I'll say yes.
Okay, why not? What about you, Warriors and NRL Fanatics?
Yeah, well, look, they bought Adam Reynolds, to help steer them in that direction of getting back to winning a premiership, man. They haven't won one in a long, long time. So I think they should be able to do it the next 3 years that Adam Reynolds is there, I think. And if he's not, well, if they don't win it with him there, it's probably going to be a bit of a failure and disappointment. So, yeah, I think he definitely can win a title for Brisbane in the next 3 years. I could see it happening for sure. And, Brisbane have got the talent and the players to do it. So, yeah, definitely for sure.
I don't see why not. I mean, what they're doing this year is probably better than what we all thought, and there's no reason why they can't build off what they're doing this year. Obviously, I don't like the Broncos, and I really hope they fall off and come last. I couldn't care less about them, but what they're doing this year has been very good, and Adam Reynolds is one of the buyers of the season, so I don't see why not. As long as he stays injury-free, they're a chance. But here's the thing. If Adam Reynolds goes down injured and he's out for 4 weeks, how many games can the Broncos win without Adam Reynolds if he's out for 4 weeks?
Yep.
Probably not more than 2. So why not? They could win a comp in the next 3 years. Who knows? Why the hell not?
The window's open.
The window is open for sure. Nathan B. Moore, great friend Nathan B. Moore is, great friend of the channel. Since the top 6 is pretty much set, who do you reckon will get 7 and 8? Well, I spoke about this in my ladder predictor the other day, and I had the Roosters and the Raiders sneaking into 7 and 8. But that 8 spot is changing for me all the goddamn time. CJ, 7 and 8, who's it going to be?
As it stands for me right now, 7th South Sydney, I'll back him in up there, and 8th will be Manly.
Nice. I like that. What about you, Fanatics?
It's tough. I'll probably say I think the Raiders can sneak in there, actually. I mean, they've really turned their season around since the start of the year, and there was a lot of people like myself thought they'd be a lot higher than they should be, and they have turned a corner under Ricky Stewart over the last couple of weeks. So also Raiders will sneak in.
Yeah, no doubt.
And 7th, I think I'll finish in 7th, and in 8th, I'm gonna go. Oh, this is hard.
Roosters, Rabbitohs, Manly, Dragons.
Yeah, I'll go with the Roosters. I think the Roosters will just sneak in.
Yeah, they should sneak in there. You would think they would. Surely.
We're going to knock them out of it.
MustardCat's got a good question here. How much will Brendon Smith add to the Roosters next year, Nick? Let me answer this. You boys might not believe me. Brendon Smith to the Roosters. Roosters are a top 4 team next year with Brendon Smith going there. I reckon, anyway.
Yeah, that's probably true, but it definitely adds. They do need a recognised hooker, so they've got that now.
They got Tedesco, who is the best fullback in the world. They've got Sam Walker, one of the best young halves in the game. Luke Keary, he's won 2 comps. If he stays fit, that combination will get better. And Brendon Smith, who's a top 2, top 3 hooker in the comp. That's the best spot in the comp right there. And obviously, Penrith losing Coruscant next year is going to hurt them a little bit. Melbourne are going to have to rely, or their spine will still be very good. So the Roosters next year, with Brendon Smith coming to them, it's going to add a lot to the Roosters. And the Roosters next year, if they're not in the top 4 with Brendon Smith going there, there is really something wrong there. So I reckon they're a genuine top 4 side next year. Fanatics, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Brendon Smith will definitely make them a bit more of a dangerous side for sure. And then they've got James Tedesco there at the fullback spot, and they've also got, they've got a very good spine as well. So definitely for sure, I think the Roosters will surely be up there next year, being a top 4 team.
Yeah, no doubt. I think this year for the Roosters is more of a building year, getting to know each other. Obviously, if they make the finals, they're going to be a dangerous team to play. You won't want to play them week 1 because of the experience they have and how dangerous they could be. If there's one team, boys, that doesn't make the top 4, or actually, no, let me rephrase that. If there's one team that misses the top 4 that could go deep in the finals, it is the Roosters. With all due respect, I don't want to be, saying that that no one can win the comp because if you make the top 8, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen it before. Upsets happen in finals, but if there's one team outside of the top 4 that could go as far as the grand final, it would be the Roosters. All due respect to the Broncos, Eels, and Rabbitohs and Dragons, who are currently just outside the top 8 or top 4 from 5 to 8. If Roosters sneak into that 5 to 8 bracket, they could do anything. They could do anything, honest to God. Frightening.
Let's hope not.
All right, Jason Reader says, in your opinion, who do you think will make the grand final? Oh, God. There's probably anything could happen this year. Boys, obviously, Penrith and Melbourne are the top 2, but fuck me. What's it going to be, boys? We'll start with you, Fanatics.
This is hard. I'll go Penrith. Penrith will definitely be in there for sure. And I'll probably say Melbourne. Yeah. I know it sounds boring, but
the most boring grand final ever. I just want to put my head through a glass window if that is the grand final. Gee, that'll be annoying. That'll be so fucking annoying if that's the grand final. CJ, what's your grand final? At the moment.
Changed a lot, but right now I'd probably go Panthers and probably the Cowboys. I think their defense will get them there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Panthers, Cowboys. Obviously, I'm going to back my boys in to get to the big stage, and I think we're probably one of the best fucking well-rounded sides in the comp. We don't have any fucking top 3, top 2 players in the comp. We've got a well-balanced team. Tamalolo is our best player. He's probably the best forward in the comp at the moment. The way he's playing is just out of this world at the moment. So we're just we're a well-rounded, balanced team at the moment. And we are currently 11 wins and 4 losses. 2 wins away from securing a final spot. So you'll love to see it, man. You'll love to see it. All right. Let's go to another question here. What have we got here? Let's have a look. Oh, Paripi's got a good question. Latrell Mitchell and Origin 3. Oh, wow. Fuck it. That's big. Latrell Mitchell returns this weekend against the Eels. And dare I say, if he gets through it well when he stays fit, there is absolutely no reason why you wouldn't pick him. And he's that good of a player. CJ, as a Rabbitohs supporter, Latrell Mitchell, would you pick him in Origin 3 or not? It's a decider. Would you play him?
Yeah, you're going to have to take the risk. He's been there, done that. Decider in Brisbane. You need big name players like him there.
He needs to be there.
Latrell and Burton have to be the pairing.
Yep, I agree. I think Burton and Latrell, the centers. I think Latrell goes to the left center. Burton goes to the right-hand side. Jack Whiten goes back to jersey 14. And Crichton drops out. Or you go Whiten and Latrell, and then you go Burton at 14. But it doesn't really matter which way they go because New South Wales always seem to make the right calls. But fuck, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do here. Fanatics, Latrell Mitchell, would you pick him?
It's tough because last night, Matt Burton played well.
Yep.
So I don't think New South Wales should drop Matt Burton from the
Stephen
side.
Crichton was pretty quiet though, wasn't he?
Who was quiet? Who did you say?
Stephen Crichton was pretty quiet.
Yeah, he was actually. I think he was pretty quiet. Yeah, I think if Latrell Mitchell's fit, and he's playing this weekend, and he plays well, I think there's no reason why New South Wales shouldn't, pick him in the side for game 3.
Yeah,
definitely.
No doubt about it. No doubt. All right, let's go to another question here. KnightHawkGaming's got a question. How important is Broncos versus Cowboys game this week in deciding top 4? And do you think it's the game of the round? Well, I'll start with this one. I think it is the game of the round. Queensland Derby, 3rd versus 5th on the ladder. Cowboys are currently, they're 1 game in front of the Broncos. Cowboys haven't had the bye yet. So when we have the bye, that'll be very important. We're 2 wins in front of Brisbane, and I think if we win this game against Brisbane, we'll probably finish top 4. But I think it is a very important game. I think it is the game of the round. CJ, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think whoever wins this game cements themselves in the top 4. Massive game, Queensland Derby, game of the round. A lot of repercussions as well. Luciano Leilua debut, so
Yes.
that'll be good. I believe Payne Haas is missing this game.
Haas is gone. He's out.
Reynolds is back, from my understanding. It's massive. It's a massive game.
It'll be close. It always is. Or usually is anyway. What about you, Fanatics?
Yeah, it's a massive game for sure. I mean, the Cowboys win this, they'll cement their spot in the top 4, and if Brisbane win, they could potentially make a case for a top 4 spot as well. So I reckon it's a massive game, and it will be a big game at that, and I think it'll be one of the games of the round also.
Well, if we win, we'll be 2 games in front of Brisbane and Cronulla and Parramatta, and then we have a bye coming up as well, which will get us another 2 points. So if we win this game, we might be 3 games in front of Brisbane, Cronulla, and Parramatta. So it's a pretty fucking big game for us, and we have a great advantage. It's in Townsville. Leilua's in. I don't think Ruben Cotter will be fit. He might be a slight chance, but I don't think we'll risk him with the hamstring injury. You wouldn't risk him. I wouldn't play Cotter. I wouldn't risk him this week. I'd give him another week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. I think Kyle Felt's a close chance of coming back.
Yep.
I have heard Felt will be close to returning, but it's going to be interesting, mate. I think it's the game of the round for sure.
Nah, massive game.
All right. Provenzo Vids is in the chat, and he's got a question for us. International rep footy or state of origin? Fucking hell. That's a tough question, man.
They're both really important, and I love them both, but you'd have to go rep footy, international. It's your country. It's more important to represent your country than just a state.
Your country and your culture is very important for sure. What about you, Fanatics? I don't even need to ask you this because I already know the answer to I already know the answer for you.
Yeah, look, I said it many times, and I said it on Pro Enzo Vids' podcast tonight, the Ankle Break podcast. I said that international footy for me is the way to go about it, and I personally think representing your country should mean more than representing a state. So yeah, for me, it's definitely international footy.
I'd go rep footy as well, just because when it's England versus New Zealand, England versus Australia, Australia versus New Zealand, Tonga versus England, whatever it is, it's better, it's bigger. International footy is better. Playing for your country, playing for your culture, where you come from, the haka, everything involved. I've always been bigger on rep footy, especially, boys, I love the 4 nations. Australia, New Zealand, England, and Samoa. I love the 4 nations. The World Cup at the end of the year is going to be absolutely massive. So, for me, rep footy, but State of Origin is still one of the biggest fucking events going in rugby league today. Exactly. But I've always been more of a fan of rep footy because playing for your country, in my opinion, is better than playing for your state. That's just my opinion. And there's more rivalry playing for your country than it is for New South Wales or Queensland. That's how I feel about it. Everybody might have a different way they feel about it, but I've always been more of a fan of playing for your country and stuff. So that's just my opinion anyway. All right. Another question here. Provenzo Vids again. Manly will never win a comp with DC at halfback. Fucking hell, that's a big call. I disagree with that. But CJ, what do you reckon?
Well, I tipped Manly to win the comp this year at the start of the year. So,
You're fucked.
obviously, yeah. Obviously, I thought Cherry Evans would steer him to it. I wouldn't rule it out completely. He's there till the end of 2025, I believe. I think Manly can win it.
I think they can still win it. That's just me. With Cherry Evans there.
I think Manly can still win the comp in the next 3 years. They just got to keep fit, and they'll be on track to win one.
If you keep a guy by the name of Tommy Turbo fit, then they might have a chance. But without Tom, put a pen through him. Fanatics, can they win a comp? Can Manly win another comp while DC is still there?
Yeah, look, I think so. I think they can still win a comp with Dave Truman still at halfback, and you got to remember as well, Tommy Trbojevic, if he's fit and firing on the field, the Manly are a dangerous side. So I think they still can win one for sure.
If Tommy Turbo is fit, bro, Manly are a top 6 team.
Dare I say top 4?
Yeah,
maybe even top 4. For us, best NRL team logo. Oh my god, this is so hard to answer. All right, don't pick your own, boys. Don't pick your own team. Best NRL logo besides your own team.
I really like the Broncos.
The Broncos one.
I like the Broncos one. The old traditional one.
Oh, okay, yep. Fanatics, what about you, bro?
This is tough.
It is.
Oh, it's a hard one to answer.
This is really hard. I'll tell you what. I love the Roosters and the Dragons logos a lot. I think, obviously, their traditional logos, they go back a long way. The Rabbitohs one's very iconic. I do like the Sharks one, but there's so many to choose from. Fanatics, if you had to pick one besides the Warriors?
Also the Cowboys, actually.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, I don't mind the Cowboys logo.
Question from Jesse. New Zealand could win the World Cup. Faunts. Oh. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think they're a contender. I think, obviously, Australia, New Zealand, and England will be the 3 teams that can win the World Cup. But fuck, if a team like Tonga can bounce back and get it right, and a team like Samoa can get Penrith players like Luai and Crichton and Taiwo in there, then all of a sudden they're a different side and they might have a shot at it. But there's probably only, I think New Zealand are a genuine chance, boys. I don't see why not.
They're my favourites behind Australia. Yeah, I think they can win it.
Okay. Not bad. Fanatics?
Yeah, I think we've got the team capable of it. We've got the spine as well and the forward pack also. So I think we've definitely got a good chance of winning it come the end of the year because it's on neutral territory as well. So, look, well, not neutral territory, it's in England, but I think we're a chance to definitely win it at the end of the year. But obviously, Australia, for me, still no doubt favourites to win it. But I think New Zealand can definitely give it a shake-up.
Stop. Mate, we can see you on YouTube. We can see your head. Move back. Stand up then. Say something then. Get up and say something.
Hi.
Hey, mate.
Bugging me. All right. Bosky. If the Titans were not in the NRL, what team would be your most disliked? Melbourne.
That's fair.
Melbourne for me.
Canterbury if Roosters weren't in.
Canterbury.
Fuck Canterbury.
I wonder why, CJ. The incident that time where Good Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, fuck them.
The Good Friday incident. What about you, Fanatics?
I don't know. I don't really have too many disliked teams, to be completely honest. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably say the Sharks. I don't know why, but I'm just not really a fan of them personally. But yeah, Cronulla for me.
Yeah, you hate Cronulla, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like them in general. Paul Gallen used to play for them and I'm not a big fan of them.
Yes, Paul Gallen. Absolute grub. All right. I don't know if we're going to get any more questions. Here we go. Here's another question here. Oh, good question here. Is team expansions good for the game? I think so. I think it is if it's put the right way. CJ?
Yeah, it depends where you place it, really. Personally, I want a team on the Central Coast, and I'm going to still stand by that. But yeah, look, it depends where you really put it at the end of the day. I don't think a team in Adelaide would work or a Darwin team.
God. Adelaide doesn't work. Adelaide's fucked. Adelaide's done.
Depends where you put it.
Give up on Adelaide. I'm sick of hearing Adelaide. Adelaide's talk's got to stop. It's bullshit. Fanatics, what about yourself, mate?
Yeah, I think it's good for the game for sure to have more teams in there and more, more locations and that. But it all depends if they get it right. They have to get it right. Obviously, you don't want a team coming to the competition and then, the next couple of years they're not where they need to be. So yeah, it all depends on how they run it.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the way it's put, the way it's presented, what the idea is. I'll tell you what though, relocating a team would be a bad idea, but team expansion
never
is good
do
for
that.
the game. I think it is if it's put the right way. But yeah, like for example, if a team, say a bid comes from Perth and they say, all right, we're going to give you 20 million, put a team here and do this and do that. If you haven't got a junior system in place, if you haven't got anything like that, then you're fucked.
Well, what are you going to do? How do you attract players over there? Like, obviously, you got money and all that, but
Exactly. Who the fuck wants to play in Perth?
you got to have a
Nobody.
junior system, grassroots footy over there. You got to actually.
You got to do all. Yeah,
set up
exactly.
for it.
You have to do it all. Like I've been saying it for ages, but no one's fucking listening. No one's getting it in their fucking head. Take a team to Perth. Well, not take a team. Put a team in Perth. Okay. How many NRL players are going to go from fucking Queensland and Sydney to play for Perth? Go on. I'll wait. No one will go.
Yeah.
Shit players will go. Average players will go over there. But that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Their marquee signing would probably be fucking Sean Lane or something.
Oh, God. Fuck me. Wooden spoon bound, them cunts. All right. What else we got here? Who will the 18th team be? Well, I'm hoping it's the Central Coast Bears, but knowing the NRL, they'll try go to Perth or they'll try go to fucking New Zealand or something. I don't know what they're going to do.
It'll be Perth. I want it to be
Central Coast. If the Bears can come back with a Perth team and they can be like a fucking traveling team, then it could work, but there's a lot riding on it, and I think you need to get all the details. You need to get everything right and how it all works, but I don't know, man. Hopefully Central Coast. Fanatics, who do you reckon?
Look, it sounds like they're trying to bring the Perth side into the NRL, so yeah, I don't know. I'd probably be a Perth side.
Yeah,
but
CJ, what about you?
Central Coast. I've been talking about it for about a year now. Central Coast.
I've been talking about it for fucking 2 years. I've lost count. How long have I been talking about it for? All right, really good question here. And this might be the last one. Do you think the team coming last currently, when Magic Round is on, should miss out on Magic Round? Okay. No. So what Bosk is actually asking here, what NRL team should miss out on Magic Round next year with the Dolphins coming in? That's a good question.
Yep.
Boys, who do you reckon?
Gold Coast Titans, because I've got a reason for it as well. They have.
Okay, what's the reason?
They've got the least members, so what are you really missing out on? They don't really add anything, so you want the biggest atmosphere. So you can't leave a team like Souths, Roosters, Bulldogs, Broncos out. Teams like that. I think it comes down who has the least members.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fanatics, who should miss Magic Round next year?
I don't know. I'll go
really
with.
Hard.
It's tough. I don't really want to see a team myself Magic Round, but it has to happen. So I'll go with. Yeah, I'll go with the Titans. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I just think that they will miss out.
I would go with the West Tigers, and I'll explain why.
Ooh.
The Gold Coast have to be a part of Magic Round. It's Queensland. You need to have the full Queensland teams there at Magic Round. I think the Broncos, Cowboys are safe. I think the Titans will be safe. I think you have those three Queensland sides there. And look, it's in Brisbane as well. So the Gold Coast fans will travel to Brisbane. And look, I was there for the whole weekend. I was in good seats. I was able to get a good view of what supporters travelled and what didn't. And with all due respect, the West Tigers supporters had the least amount of fans. Every single team had a bunch of a good support base. West Tigers had the lowest amount of support. And I just feel with if you're not going to travel up to Queensland for Magic Round, why should you be rewarded to be at Magic Round? So the West Tigers had the least amount of fans up there, so I'd say the West Tigers. I'd go to the Tigers.
That's fair. You saw the you're at Magic Round, so you got a better perspective.
Paddy G just puts a really good point in the chat, and Fanatics won't like this. I would let the Warriors miss out on Magic Round. They don't have to travel, and then it has that whole Australia vibe.
No, I see.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. It's that way. It's not a bit of a carry on to get over here. But
I see Paddy's point.
I see your point, Paddy. I don't disagree with your point there, but I can see Fanatics wants to explode by hearing that.
Go on, Fanatics.
Thoughts, Fanatics?
Absolutely not. Yeah,
Well,
I understand, where he's coming at with the travel and that, but look, I think for me, obviously, I like to go to Magic Round every year, and I went to the one this year, and the Warriors supporters here in Australia, there's plenty of Warriors supporters here in Australia that would go and watch their team play, and they don't get many opportunities during the year. So, look, I think the Warriors should stay in I think the Warriors should be playing Magic Round. I think, they've got to be there, and yeah, I mean,
look, Fanatics, I'll say this as well. The Warriors' support for Magic Round was very good. They did have a good fan base attend. There was a fairly decent amount of Warriors fans there, and they travelled better than the West Tigers do. And so, I'd go West Tigers to miss out on Magic Round, but that's just me. But Fanatics, as a Warriors fan that you are, you live on the Gold Coast. Would Magic Round be a downgrade without the Warriors?
I don't know if I'd say downgrade. I mean, there's plenty of other good teams in there, and there's plenty of other good teams there to watch. But
yeah,
I think in terms of the Kiwi support here in terms of the Warriors is a lot. There's plenty of Warriors supporters here that would travel from Brisbane or from the Gold Coast to the game, or Brisbane to there, and I think if the Warriors miss out, there'll be many people missing out watching their team play. So
yeah, no doubt.
That's how I feel on it personally.
Well, Paddy G just says in the chat, the fairest thing would be to have the team that wins the wooden spoon miss out. That's probably what will happen. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what will probably happen anyway. All right. Well, boys, that's going to wrap up the Q&A. CJ and Fanatics, boys, thanks for coming on for the Q&A. We've been on for 43 minutes now, so I'm going to wrap things up now. But, boys, thanks for coming on.
No, thanks for having me on. It was a great Q&A. And,
no worries.
Yeah, next one.
No worries. Fanatics, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on, and I thought it was great. It was great answering all everyone's questions. So, cheers for having me on.
Thank you very much. And everyone that tuned in to tonight's live stream, I want to thank you very much for coming on tonight's live stream. I really appreciate your time. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my NRL round 16 tips. But as always, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your day tomorrow, everybody. And see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.